So I just got out of my community group, and I wanted to share with you guys just what I've been learning about the value of having a community group and just a group of guys that I've been able to process things with and just check in with and be held accountable to. And so I get together usually every two or 3 weeks with a group of pastors who are pastoring here in Kingston, and it's just a great group for me because we're all leaders in a church. We all get that kind of environment, and we get the pressures that it brings and the challenges of leadership that it brings. Sorry, it's a little windy here. Let me see if I can move. And we all get the challenges of leading a church. We get the challenges of being stretched in ways that we weren't prepped for in seminary. We get the personality issues that come up when you're dealing with people's brokenness, and it can be really challenging and really draining on the soul. It can be hard when you're trying to lead a group of people through a hard time like a global pandemic, and left, right, and center there's just fear and uncertainty, not only within the church or the congregation that you're leading, but also within you. And so that's what I found so helpful with having a group like this, because we all come with the same kind of background, we all understand what's going on, but it's that space where we can actually process through all of this, where we're not islands leading our own little congregations. It really is. It's the church coming together. It's the leaders coming together to keep each other accountable, to make sure that we're leading well, not just leading our congregations well, but that we're leading ourselves well. And if we really understand how Jesus operated, this is exactly what he did. Jesus took care of himself. He surrounded himself with close friends as he was ministering. And he spent time with God. He spent time with closer friends within his 12. He had James and John, Peter, James, and John, and he would retreat with them for special times of praying. And I think of the Transfiguration moment. He brought them along with him, the closest inner circle within the 12. That's because these were people that he turned to for encouragement and accountability, and was pouring into them in intentional ways that they were going to serve significant leadership roles in the development of the church. And so I share all of this because community is so important, especially in this time of COVID-19 where we are all just surviving day to day. We're looking to just survive, and it is doing something to our psyche, it's doing something to our hearts, to our souls, that we need a space to be able to process and to navigate. We need to be able to unpack all of this. And so if you don't have a community already, if you do not have a group of friends or a group of Christians that you can turn to, I would highly encourage you to do that. Because now more than ever, we need each other. We need community. We need to be able to have that space where we can process what we're going through, where we can have people of wisdom in our lives, where they can ask us the questions of, okay, you are wrestling here with this particular issue, mental health, wrestling with balancing life with work at home and homeschooling kids and all these different things. If we don't have community, if we don't have people we can turn to and process all this with, to be able to process it in front of God and the wider church, then we are trying to grow ourselves on our own. And the more I read scripture, the more I realize that is just not a thing. Yes, there's individual prayer and we benefit from that. Yes, there is individual worship and David, retreating to the wilderness and silence and solitude, all of these wonderful disciplines and practices. But those are always coupled with community and being able to share that with people and discern together whether or not what we heard from God in that time was actually from God, or if it was something else, if it was just us trying to tell ourselves what it is we wanted to hear. Community is the place where we can actually discern all of that, and we can have people reaffirm what is true, what is good, and what is necessary. So, all of this to say, community is a wonderful thing. I encourage every single person here who's watching to make sure that you've got that. And if if you're worried about not having the close relationships, these relationships take time. And so you want to discern well. Wind, come on. Ugh. Yes, you want to discern well. You want to make sure you pick healthy people to walk alongside, but you know what? You're never going to know who those people are until you actually ask them and start journeying with them. You may have to make tweaks in your group here and there, but I'm telling you, community is necessary.